Someone right now is using your emotions against you. And the scariest part, you probably don't even realize it's happening. Dark psychology is the study of how people use psychological tactics, manipulation, control, and deception to influence others for their own benefit. These tactics are used by toxic partners, abusive bosses, scam artists, narcissists, and even people you trust. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 of the most powerful dark psychology tactics ever documented. I'll show you exactly how they work, give you real-life examples, and, most importantly, tell you how to protect yourself from each one. This is not about becoming a manipulator. This is about becoming someone who cannot be manipulated. Let's get into it. 10 dark psychology tactics. Tactic 1. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is when someone deliberately makes you question your own memory, perception, or sanity. The name comes from a 1944 movie called Gaslight, where a husband secretly dims the gaslights in the house and then tells his wife she's imagining it. Over time, she starts to believe she's going crazy. Here's a real-life example. Imagine your partner screams at you, calls you names, then the next day says, "That never happened, you're too sensitive, you're always making things up." You know what happened, but they're so calm and convincing that you start to doubt yourself. Other common gaslighting phrases: "You're crazy. You're overreacting. That's not what I said. You have a terrible memory." Over time, the victim stops trusting their own mind, which gives the manipulator total control. How to defend yourself. Keep a journal. Write down events, conversations, and how you felt immediately after. When someone tries to rewrite reality, your written record is your anchor to the truth. Also, trust your gut. If something felt wrong, it probably was wrong. Tactic 2. Love bombing. Love bombing is when someone overwhelms you with excessive affection, attention, and flattery right at the start of a relationship. Not because they genuinely care about you, but because they want to gain your trust and dependency as fast as possible. Example: you meet someone new. Within 2 weeks, they're texting you 50 times a day, calling you their soulmate, buying you gifts, saying, "I've never felt this way about anyone." It feels like a fairy tale. But this is not love. This is a trap. Once they've hooked you emotionally, the behavior flips. The love disappears and is replaced by control, criticism, or abuse. By that point, you're already so attached that it's hard to walk away. Love bombers often appear in romantic relationships, but also in cults, pyramid schemes, and toxic friendships, anywhere someone needs your total loyalty fast. How to defend yourself. Healthy love grows at a natural pace. If someone is moving way too fast, pushing intense emotional closeness within days or weeks, slow down. Pay attention to consistency over time, not intensity in the beginning. Real love is patient. Tactic 3. The silent treatment. Most people think the silent treatment is just someone being childish. But when used deliberately, it is a calculated manipulation tool, a form of emotional punishment designed to make you feel anxious, guilty, and desperate for approval. Example: you say something your partner disagrees with. Instead of talking about it, they go completely silent. No response to texts, no eye contact, no acknowledgement you exist. You start panicking. What did I do wrong? Was I too harsh? Should I apologize? You end up apologizing for things you didn't even do wrong, just to end the silence. That's the goal. The manipulator uses silence as a weapon to make you feel responsible for their emotions and to train you to never challenge them again. How to defend yourself. Recognize the difference between someone who needs space to calm down, which is healthy, and someone weaponizing silence to punish and control you. Set a boundary. Say calmly, "I'm happy to talk when you're ready." Then go about your life. Do not beg, chase, or over-apologize. Rewarding the silent treatment only encourages more of it. Tactic 4. Triangulation. Triangulation is when a manipulator brings a third person into the dynamic to create jealousy, insecurity, and competition so that you work harder to win their approval. Example, your partner constantly mentions their attractive coworker. She was flirting with me today. He said I was way smarter than you. It makes you feel insecure, so you start competing, trying harder, giving more, asking for less. Meanwhile, the manipulator sits back and enjoys the control. This also appears in families. A toxic parent who compares siblings against each other, "Why can't you be more like your brother?" is using triangulation to control both children through competition and insecurity. How to defend yourself? Refuse to compete. When you recognize someone is using a third party to make you jealous or insecure, name it internally and disengage from the game. A secure relationship does not require you to constantly prove your worth. Tactic 5. Negging. Negging is the practice of giving someone a backhanded compliment, a statement that seems like a compliment but is actually a subtle put-down, designed to lower your self-esteem and make you seek the person's approval. Example, "You're actually pretty smart for someone who didn't go to college," or "You look amazing in that dress. I'm surprised you can pull it off." It's disguised as a compliment, but it plants a seed of doubt about yourself. This tactic was famously promoted in manipulative pick-up artist communities, but it shows up everywhere, in workplaces, friendships, and toxic relationships. The goal is to make you feel slightly inferior, so you work harder to impress the person doing it. How to defend yourself? Trust your instincts. If a compliment makes you feel worse about yourself, it wasn't a compliment, it was a jab. You don't owe anyone a reaction. A simple, flat thanks and moving on removes their power completely. Number 6. Fear, obligation, and guilt, also known as the fog. This tactic is about keeping you trapped using 3 emotional levers. Fear, if you leave, something bad will happen. Obligation, after everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me. Guilt, you're so selfish, you only think about yourself. Example, a controlling parent says, "I sacrificed everything for you. If you move to another city for that job, it will kill me. I'll be all alone." Is that what you want? To abandon your family? They're not having a conversation. They're deploying fear, obligation, and guilt simultaneously to make you do what they want. This tactic is extremely common in toxic family dynamics, abusive relationships, and manipulative workplaces. How to defend yourself? Ask yourself, am I doing this because I genuinely want to, or because I'm afraid of what happens if I don't? That question cuts through the fog instantly. Healthy relationships allow you to make free choices. If your choice always has to be the one another person dictates, that's not love, that's control. Tactic 7. Intermittent reinforcement. Number 7. Intermittent reinforcement. This one is arguably the most powerful tactic on this entire list. Intermittent reinforcement is when someone gives you rewards, love, affection, praise, kindness, on an unpredictable schedule. Sometimes they're wonderful, sometimes they're cold and cruel. You never know which version you're going to get. Here's why this is so powerful. Psychologists discovered that unpredictable rewards are far more addictive than consistent ones. It's the same reason slot machines are so hard to walk away from. The random payout keeps you hooked. In a relationship, this looks like 2 days of warmth and affection, then 3 days of coldness and criticism. You spend the cold days desperately trying to get back to the good days. You start to associate the relationship with anxiety, but you can't leave because the good version keeps reappearing and giving you hope. This is one of the primary reasons people stay in abusive relationships, not because they don't see the bad, but because the intermittent good is chemically addictive. How to defend yourself? Evaluate people on their patterns, not their best moments. A person who is kind 30% of the time and cruel 70% of the time is not a kind person. They are unpredictable personalities. Consistency is the only reliable measure of character. Tactic 8. Scarcity and urgency manipulation. This tactic exploits one of our most primal instincts, the fear of missing out. When something seems rare or about to disappear, we want it more, even if we didn't really want it before. You see this most clearly in advertising. Only 3 left in stock. This offer expires in 10 minutes. Everyone is buying this. Don't get left behind. The urgency is often completely artificial, designed to bypass your rational thinking and force a quick decision. But this also shows up in personal manipulation. Someone says, "I need an answer right now," or the deal is off. A romantic partner says, "Either commit to me fully tonight or I'm gone forever." They're manufacturing pressure to stop you from thinking clearly. How to defend yourself? Anytime someone tries to rush a major decision, that is a red flag, not a reason to decide faster. Legitimate opportunities can withstand a pause. Say, "I need 24 hours to think about this." If they refuse to give you that time, the answer should be no. Tactic 9. Projection is when someone takes their own negative traits, behaviors, or intentions and accuses you of having them. It's a defense mechanism that allows them to avoid accountability and turn themselves into the victim. Example: a partner who is cheating on you constantly accuses you of cheating. A person who is lying to you tells you that you are the liar. A manipulative boss who exploits the team tells everyone that a specific employee is manipulative and not to be trusted. This is disorienting because you suddenly find yourself defending your own character instead of holding them accountable for theirs. The conversation shifts entirely and they escape responsibility. How to defend yourself? When someone makes a strong accusation out of nowhere, especially one that doesn't fit your behavior, ask yourself, does this actually describe them better than it describes me? Don't get pulled into defending yourself endlessly. Calmly state the facts and refuse to absorb blame that isn't yours. Tactic 10, the sunk cost trap. And this last one is one manipulators use on you, but one you can also accidentally use on yourself. The sunk cost fallacy is the tendency to stay in a bad situation because of how much you've already invested: time, money, emotion, energy. I can't leave now. I've already given 5 years to this relationship. I can't quit this job. I've worked here for a decade. Manipulators exploit this deliberately. They remind you of what you've invested. Think of everything we've been through together. You've put so much into this, you can't just walk away. They use your past investment as a chain to keep you present. But here's the hard truth. Past investment does not change future outcomes. Every single day you stay in something bad because of what you've already given is another day added to the loss. How to defend yourself? When making a decision about staying or leaving, ignore the past. Ask only this: if I started fresh today with no history, would I choose this? If the answer is no, the sunk cost is not a reason to stay. It's a reason to leave before it gets worse. So let's do a quick recap of all 10 dark psychology tactics. And remember, knowledge is your shield. 1. Gaslighting. They make you doubt your reality. Keep a journal. Trust your gut. 2. Love bombing. They overwhelm you with affection to hook you fast. Let love grow slowly. 3. Silent treatment. They use silence as emotional punishment. Don't chase, don't beg. 4. Triangulation. They create jealousy using third parties. Refuse to compete. 5. Negging. They chip away at your confidence with backhanded compliments. Flat response, no reaction. 6. Fear, obligation, and guilt. They trap you in the fog. Ask, am I doing this freely? 7. Intermittent reinforcement. They keep you addicted with unpredictable kindness. Judge patterns, not moments. 8. Scarcity and urgency. They rush your decisions. Slow down, real things wait. 9. Projection. They accuse you of what they're doing. Don't absorb false blame. 10. Sunk cost trap. They trap you with your own past investment. Ask, would I choose this today? If any of these tactics sounded familiar, if someone in your life came to mind while watching this, please take that seriously. You deserve relationships built on honesty, respect, and genuine care. Understanding these tactics doesn't make you paranoid, it makes you prepared, and prepared people are much harder to manipulate. If this video helped you, share it with someone who might need it. It could make a real difference in someone's life. Stay aware, stay protected. I'll see you in the next one.